Hello and welcome. In my speaking tip of today, I have decided to concentrate on what you need to do as a speaker first. Before you go into any speaking engagement, I would expect you to understand why you need to have the audience. You need to know them. You need to know your audience. You need to know exactly what they need to hear from you. Because the success of any speech is about knowing what the audience want to hear. If you're able to satisfy their needs, believe me, your speech will be a resounding victory. You cannot be telling me cock and bull story when I needed to hear something more intelligent, or you start telling me something more intelligent when I need to hear, or I want to hear something fun, something filled with fun. What I'm trying to say in essence is, if you know what people want to hear from you, you would know how to address their problems. So first, get in touch with the seminar organizer, the workshop organizer, somebody who's organizing the seminar for you, for example, or the speech for you. Try to understand exactly what the audience makeup would be like. Are you going to speak to young people? Are you going to speak to old people? Are you going to speak to retirees? Are you going to speak to a bunch of medical doctors? Are you going to speak to a bunch of engineers? Are you going to speak to a bunch of salesmen? Just to give an example. Each of these groups have one thing in common. They want to hear something related to their areas of expertise. As if you come in there to speak to doctors and are telling them something about stock market, you're not going to make it. You know that. So first, you need to know the composition of the group. You need to understand what they need to hear from you. You need to know their age brackets. I mean, how old are they? How young are they? You need to know their educational background. You need to know their leisure activities. You need to know their occupation. How many women and how many men? How many young people? So these are the things you need to really ask before you go into the speech. Understand that the success of any speech would depend largely on what the audience wants to hear from you. If you give them something they don't want to hear from you, no matter how good your speech is, no matter how intelligent you sound, no matter how prepared you are, believe me, that speech will just not sink in. So first and foremost is to make your research of the composition of the group, who is coming there to listen to you, what are their needs, what are their occupation, their ages, and all these are the things you need to gather before you begin to make your speech, so as to know how to address them, and so that your story will sink in properly. Until next time, I would expect you to keep speaking up. Thank you very much.